Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So the last time I worked on this and I was filming a video, I left with the question of the background and I didn't know whether I should use my cashew or red. And I remember saying towards the end of the video that I'm leaning more towards the red. I'm thinking really dark, deep, lush red on the background, and even the sun is going to be red and just a different kind of red. And then the circles, the ovals emanating from her throat going into her body, I wanted that to be red. And I said I was going to write in my studio log. So the first thing is, you guys, that I did not intend for this video series to be about my studio log, but it kind of came into play because I was like, working in my studio log, and I thought it would be a good video to show you a very practical way that I am using my I'm sorry, did I say video log? I meant studio log. But a very practical way that I am using my studio log present day. But that being said, when I first started my YouTube channel, I was very specific about, oh, I want this video to be about, say a junk journal or beginner's layers on watercolor paper or whatever it was. And I stuck to those points. But I think now, as I'm making more and more videos, I'm becoming more integrative because, honestly, that is the way I work. And that's the way I would say most artists do work. It's not just one thing. I mean, you're integrating a lot of different things. You're integrating your knowledge and use of color, of line. You are writing in your studio log if you do use one. You're thinking about composition. You're figuring out a color palette. You're trying to say, hey, what do I want this to be in my art journal? Do I want this to be in my watercolor journal? So you're making a lot of decisions, and you're integrating all of those decisions into working even without realizing it. So as I go along with my videos, I'm just going to add more and more things in more of an integrative way, and a lot of times, I don't even know myself where it's gonna go, because when I first started making this video series, I was just making a video series about my cover. I'm making a cover, and then it just segued into a studio log video. So anyways, I'm sorry for that big long spiel, but I think it's important to point out that yeah, we are taking a lot of different pieces of information and we are using them all together. We're pulling something from here and we're pulling something from here, and oh, I took a class 5 years ago and I remember XYZ, and I read this book, and oh, I did this last month, so I'm gonna replicate it in this particular spread. So we're just pulling things from everywhere, and I think that when I make videos that kind of pull all of those threads together, not only does it make it more interesting for me to make those videos, but it's actually how I work, and I think it's a lot more useful to anybody who is going to be watching these videos. So things are not separated, but if you do want to look at things separated, then I do have a playlist, which I have not been upkeeping very well lately. I've got to go back and put a lot more of my videos from the past 2 or 3 months into my playlist section, but I've got a ton of videos in my playlist section. So anyways, so basically, now getting back to the studio log. So when I posed that question in my last oh, I just wanted to show you guys this as well. I made a short about this, and basically, you guys, if you want to, just say you're working in any kind of book, an art journal, your studio log, whatever it is, you can always add a piece of paper to extend the page, which is what I did here. I didn't want the square. I wanted it to be a rectangular page, so I just stuck on a piece of paper and I just extended my page. And I love this little I don't know, it's just a little kind of crumply, gorgeous piece of paper, and I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it to no end. So, and I just fold it up and put it in there, and yeah, so just pointing that out. But anyways, getting back to my studio log. So I spent a whole page writing about the Divine Feminine, and what are the colors that come up for me. It's red, red, and more red, and then more red, and then more red still, and then more red, and then more and more and more. So when I pose that question, should I use my cashew, because you know then I can write on it and add symbolism, etc. I come back to my studio log and I'm like, no, absolutely not. It's red. So in this way, my studio log can be like a compass pointing me towards the right direction. You know, I get a little bit off kilter and I go, oh, maybe I should use my cashew because then I can XYZ. But then I pose that question to myself and then I come back and I look in my studio log and I'm like, no, 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 absolutely not. It's red. There's no even like a conversation about it. Red it is. So it kind of points me to, you know, like to north, you know. So anyways, I am going to figure out now what kind of red do I want, and I think honestly I am going to use a few different reds maybe. And for now I'm gonna just put a solid block of red, I'm thinking. Do I want to do that? Well, you know what, I'm gonna leave some parts the way it is because I might want to save those parts. Like I do like this polka dot, but I don't know, it might not go. But yeah, sometimes you gotta cover things up. I don't want to do it, but sometimes I like something and I get attached to it and I'm like, but it doesn't work. I gotta cover it up. And yeah, now I want to also add some of this, like it's like a cranberry. Ooh, like look at that, you guys. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. And like put it over here. Now I do like that newspaper over there. Like I want to keep that. And I'm just gonna spray this more of it because I am so in love with it, you guys. Like look at that. Oh my goodness. Now the sun is getting kind of a bit, you know, washed away because it's red, but I'm gonna keep the red, but I'm just gonna add like a cad red light, you know, so it's gonna be like more of an orangey kind of a color, just so it can still retain that red, but it's gonna stand out. But I am so in love with this, you guys. Oh my goodness. Now okay, I just want to talk a minute about visual language and how it is absolutely so personal. Okay, so you guys, somebody else might look at this and it might be too much. It might be like, oh my god, like what on earth. It might be overstimulating, it might be garish, it might be, I mean, a million different things. It might make them unsettled. And for me personally, this is like this is like heaven to me. It's like an ocean I can swim in. It's just, I cannot even explain the power and the just the symbolism, the heaviness, the richness. And when I say heaviness, I don't mean heaviness in any kind of negative way, but the heaviness of just the like heavy in the sense of like symbolism and richness. And oh, I'm so in love with it, you guys. Like look at this. Oh my goodness, like I cannot get over this. Like I'm absolutely in love. But you know, like I said, somebody else might look at this and it might be like really unsettling, garish, whatever it is. And that's the thing about visual language. It is very, very personal. It is not going to be the same for everybody. There's so much that goes into it. You know, there are pieces of art that I look at that I almost have like a visceral kind of negative reaction to, for whatever reason, you know. And if I wanted to, I can like go like look into it and say, hey, like why do I feel that way, you know? And I think that's very interesting, because it's going to give you a lot of information about your own visual language, not with the end goal of you liking it or even appreciating it, but as a way of you finding out about, you know, your own visual language. Like, what do you like? What do you not like? Why do you not like it? Those are really important things to know about your visual language, about your colors, about your lines, your the palettes, the values, you know, everything, the symbolism. It's just really super informative, a treasure trove of knowledge. Okay, now once this dries, I am going to go back and add another layer of the lighter red. So I still want to keep the sun red, but it's just going to be lighter. And now I'm feeling like this is a very powerful image, even though it's not done by any stretch of the imagination. And let me see, where is my book here? So, so as you can see here, so this over here was my kind of, you know, like I really wanted to keep these lines here, and I'm just really loving that. So I am just going to replicate it now, keeping in mind that, you know, some of this is going to get covered up. I'm going to have to go in and, you know, redo these lines because I feel like this is too busy right now, but it's okay. I'm still, you know, kind of keeping this energy going here. Now I want to figure out, what do I want the background of this to be? And now I might want to go back in and use my cashew chalk paint, so that the red really kind of pops. So that's something I am going to be considering. So anyways, you guys, I'm gonna let this dry because I don't want this to kind of like spill over into the face and what have you. But I think I want to like spray this. Oh, I just love this, you guys. Oh, and by the way, you guys, this is Dylusion's ink spray, and this is called Cherry Pie. I found it, so I have a lot of sprays and inks and what have you that I'm trying to use. So yeah, I love this color. Now I don't know if I want to keep, you know, these polka dots here, but I'm just gonna keep it for now. And what I'm thinking, you guys, is I'm gonna add some gold to this at some point, maybe. And see, right now that sun is getting lost there, so that's something that I'm gonna make a mental note, that I'm gonna come back and I'm going to pop it out. I'm gonna bring it out by using a lighter colored red. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna let that dry. Okay, you guys, so I hope that this has been interesting. I hope this has given you some ideas about how to use your studio log. And if you guys have any kind of suggestions for future videos, I would really appreciate hearing them, because yeah, I'm always open to making videos. And if I can't make a video about a certain topic, then I'll just say like, hey, I'm not the best person to make a video about this because I don't know a lot about it. But if you guys do have any suggestions for future videos, I would really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.